everybody. Welcome to the Artichoke. Are there any people here for the first time? Woohoo! That makes me so happy. Not that I'm also happy to see those of you who come often, but you know, to survive and thrive in this world, we have to keep bringing new people in. So this makes me extremely happy. Couple of things you need to know. We are live streaming tonight, so if you want to turn your phones off, that would be great. And later on, you can watch this on YouTube. So if you want to watch it again, you can do that. And you just go and search Artichoke live stream, and it'll pop right up. We have 3 bathrooms. There's one here in the venue. Probably don't want to use that during the show. It's your call. It is soundproof, but there's one. When you walked in the door, if you go back over where the instrument store is, there's another restroom on the back wall of the instrument store. There's also one on the 2nd floor. You'll see the stairs on your way into the store if you want to get your steps in. We have a lot of different music here at Artichoke, so if you haven't signed up for our mailing list, I encourage you to do that, especially with many people making different choices about social media right now. It's really hard for us to get the word out about some of these shows, including afternoon shows that we have for people who don't want to drive at night. Couple things that this crowd might be interested in is on the 15th of February, Lauren Sheehan and Pete Krebs are going to perform as a duo here with their new Wichita. And also Brooks Robinson will be here in August, and he always does workshops and a show as well. But we have a lot of different music. We're putting on probably 20 to 25 shows a month, classes, really cool instruments. So just watch and see how we do here. So tonight we get to hear, and this first time that, Brooks came by himself last year, or excuse me, got Brooks on the brain. Benny came by himself last year, so now he's got Titus with him. So I know they've been playing all weekend over the Old Time Festival, and we're really happy to have them here. Let's welcome Benny Bleu and Titus Stevens. Thank you.
bottle in my hand, bottle in my hand, bottle in my hand. Dance all night with a bottle in my hand, just for a day with the fiddle red round. Ain't seen nothing but a jawbone since. Come on, boys, let's get along. And in comes Sally with the big boots on. She's been here and I've been gone. Pretty little girl with a red dress on. She took it off and I'll put it on. In comes Sally with the big boots on. Dance all night with a bottle in my hand, bottle in my hand, bottle in my hand. Dance all night with a bottle in my hand, just for a day with the fiddle red round. All right, thank you so much, folks. Thank you, Shelley and the Artichoke. How sweet it is to be back. I'm Benny Blue, and this is Titus Stevens.
Hello.
I came from, got on the train in Rochester, New York, picked up Titus at the next stop in Buffalo, and now we're in Portland. Only takes 2.5 days to cross the country on a train. 2.5 days well spent. We often use the phrase, "This too shall pass," when bad things are in the air. But it's important to remember that the good things pass too, and when you've got a good thing, to appreciate it while it's here, because after all, this too shall pass. These days it seems like time is biting me. Spend all my money and I don't have a receipt. I'm worried about the future and I dwell upon the past. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. These days the clock upon my wall feels like a jail. I'm handcuffed to the second hand, no one to go my bail. And the days go by so slowly, yet the hours move too fast. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Oh, time flies like an arrow, and time bends like a bow. Goes by before you blink, your eye comes back before you know. I'm savoring the moments, for the moments never last. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Pass some time, Titus. Well, I don't know where I'm going, but I'll get there, yes sirree. There ain't no way of knowing, I got no lifetime guarantee. I ain't afraid of making no wrong turns or to break the little glass. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Oh, time flies like an arrow, and time bends like a bow. Goes by before you blink, your eye comes back before you know. I'm savoring the moments, for the moments never last. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Oh, time flies like an arrow, and time bends like a bow. Goes by before you blink, your eye comes back before you know. I'm savoring the moments, for the moments never last. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Oh, I said if there's anything that I've learned, it's that this too shall pass. Once again, I'd like to thank the Artichoke Music Store for letting me play their guitar. It's a sweet little Yamaha number. It's for sale. Well, does anybody know the feeling where you feel like you're living in a little piece of heaven? Maybe you've got a garden out back. You move to a place to work the land and be amongst nature and live the life you love, but you realize that there's a mean old man in charge. That's how it is out on Penny's farm. Now come ladies and gentlemen, listen to a song. Sing it for you now, but you might think it wrong. Might make you mad, but I mean you no harm. It's all about the renters on Penny's farm. Now you move on out to Mr. Penny's farm. Plant a big crop of cotton, a little crop of corn. He'll come around planting the plot till he gets himself a mortgage on everything you got. And here comes Penny with a flattering mouth. He'll move you to the country in a little log house. Got no windows but the cracks in the wall. He'll work you all summer and he'll rob you in the fall. Now you move to the fields and work all day till way after dark, but you get no pay. Just a little piece of meat, little turn of corn. It's hell to be a renter on Penny's farm. Yeah, Penny's renters, they will go to town with their hands in their pockets and heads hung down. Walk into the store and the merchant will say, your mortgage is due and I'm looking for my pay. I go down to my pockets with a trembling hand. I can't pay it all, but I'll pay you what I can. Merchant jumps up to the telephone call. Said I'll put you in jail if you don't pay it all. Here comes Penny with a big old plan. He's a little tough luck, he don't give a damn. Run you in the mud like a train on the track. He'll haul you to the mountain, but he won't bring you back. Last time. Wouldn't want to work for that guy. Well, Titus and I came all the way from East Rodentia to be here today. Does any y'all know where Rodentia is? Oh. It's south of the Rongovian Embassy. It's east of the monarchy of Mollusca. No? Near the Ungulation Nation? Oh. Well, you should come visit sometime. It's a small little place. It's where all the people are rodents. We're going to sing this one for all of our friends back home. There's a squirrel in my attic, he makes himself at home. Got a jewelry box for a dresser, a pin cushion for a throne. He burrowed through the ceiling and now there is a hole, like staring into the abyss, like looking at my soul. Pretty little puzzle pieces sitting on the shelf, but I can't make them fit into an image of myself. I'm sitting here in heaven, but don't it feel like hell? For every nut the squirrel finds, he misses 10 or 12. He crashes and he scratches, he hollers and he screams. I hear him in the morning, I hear him in my dreams. But it's hardest when he's quiet, I can't think on nothing else but the squirrel in the attic and puzzle pieces on the shelf. Pretty little puzzle pieces sitting on the shelf, but I can't make them fit into an image of myself. I'm sitting here in heaven, but don't it feel like hell? For every nut the squirrel finds, he misses 10 or 12. There's a squirrel in my attic, he hangs out with his friends while I'm trying to put this puzzle back together once again. He burrowed through the ceiling, sometimes our glances meet, but I best not look him in the eye when I'm drifting off to sleep. Oh, pretty little puzzle pieces sitting on the shelf, but I can't make them fit into an image of myself. I'm sitting here in heaven, but don't it feel like hell? For every nut the squirrel finds, he misses 10 or 12. Oh, pretty little puzzle pieces sitting on the shelf, but I can't make them fit into an image of myself. I'm sitting here in heaven, but don't it feel like hell? For every nut the squirrel finds, he misses 10 or 12. For every nut the squirrel finds, he misses 10 or 12. Thank you. These hats are pretty hot, though, so we're going to take them off. I want to say hi to my family back home who's probably watching. It's like 4 degrees back home in Rodentia right now. And I wanted to sing a winter song. A song of the season. I learned this from Chet Atkins. I'm almost sorry now I caught you messing around. You packed up your old pickup and boogied out of town. But darling, I thought you'd like to know I still write your name in the snow. When the snowflakes fall, I guess I see the happy you and me that used to be. When the snow has covered all the ground, I hear your name and have to write it down. Do you think of me when you're feeling low and wish you could write my name in the snow. Well, I once had an inkling that you'd be back again. But now I see that I was only tinkling in the wind. You've hurt me more than you'll ever know, yet I still write your name in the snow. When the snowflakes fall, I guess I see the happy you and me that used to be. I write your name so beautifully, but it's hard to dot the I's and cross the T's. Do you think of me when you're feeling low, and wish you could write my name in the snow? You've hurt me more than you'll ever know, yet I still write your name in the snow. Well, we had a really wonderful time this weekend at the Portland Old Time Gathering. And played a lot of fiddle tunes. That was the main thing at the Portland Old Time Gathering. But the last big night when everybody was there, we fell into this circle of a lot of people. In fact, Lauren Sheehan, who will be here on February 15th, was one of the people playing with us. It was so nice to meet her and share tunes. This was a song that our new friend Sally, who lives in near the Grand Tetons, sang this song. This is one of my favorite songs to sing. It's called The Cowboys Lament. I was out riding the midnight shift graveyard till dawn, and the moon was as bright as a reading light on a letter from an old friend back home. Said, last night I ran into Jenny. She's married and has a good life. Boy, you sure missed the track when you never got back. She's a perfect professional's wife. And she asks, why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your share. And you all must be crazy out there. But they've never seen the northern lights, never seen a hawk on the wing, never seen spring in the Great Divide, and they've never heard old Camp Cookie sing. Well, I read the last of my letter, tore off a stamp for old Jim. When Billy rode up to relieve me, he looked at my letter and he grinned. And he asked, why do we ride for our money? Why do we rope for short pay? We ain't getting nowhere and we're losing our share. And we all must be crazy out there. But they've never seen the northern lights, never seen a hawk on the wing. They've never seen spring in the Great Divide. And they've never heard old Camp Cookie sing. He go yo-da-dee-da-day, yo-da-dee-da-day, yo-dee-do, 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 yo-dee-do. Ya-dee, yo-dee-day, yo-dee-do. Thank you. Well, I'd like to give a shout out to all the banjo players that are in the audience right now. We had a little banjo workshop here before the show, and kind of inspired by the old time gathering. We were just talking about how to play together, how to get better at playing with other folks, and so in the spirit, I'd like to invite one of our friends, Isaac Sinclair, up here. Isaac Topaz. Isaac has been nice enough to play this tune. We've worked on this tune in class today. It's called Josio. How about it for our friend Isaac here? Thanks, man. We talked about how the most important thing in playing old-time music is the rhythm, and I think Isaac's got it. I'm going to tune this banjo down to the great key of C. I'd like to thank Olivia back there for making us sound good tonight. I love playing folk music because it's music that stood the test of time. It's music that's been around longer than any of us have, and it's communal music. It's music that you share with people. It's music that is full of rich writing, full of wonderful metaphors and things that have been used for political reasons and for work reasons, work songs, just all sorts of functions. It's functional music that exists amongst the people. We're going to play now a song from the Caribbean, a Caribbean folk song. I'm not sure of any hidden meanings, but I'm sure they're in there. But the lyrics are about how these smugglers would paint their ships black so that they could more easily smuggle booze in the night.
They would change the color of the ship.
What do you mean?
They would come in and then paint it a different color.
Oh, so it looks like a different ship.
Yeah, it looked like a different ship.
Makes sense. A ship in disguise.
Yeah.
This is the Bellamina. Bellamina, Bellamina, Bellamina is in the harbor. Bellamina, Bellamina, Bellamina is in the harbor. Put the Bellamina on the dock and paint the Bellamina black. Put the Bellamina on the dock and paint the Bellamina black. Oh, the Misty, yeah, the Misty, she's always carrying whiskey. Oh, the Misty, yeah, the Misty, always carrying whiskey now. Put the whiskey on the dock and paint the Misty black. Put the whiskey on the dock and paint the Misty black. The hazy, yeah, the hazy, she almost make me crazy. Oh, the hazy, yeah, the hazy, almost make me crazy. Put the hazy on the dark and paint the hazy black. I put the hazy on the dark and paint the hazy black. Bellamina, Bellamina, Bellamina is in the harbor. Bellamina, Bellamina, Bellamina is in the harbor. Put the Bellamina on the dock and paint the Bellamina black. Put the Bellamina on the dock and paint the Bellamina black. Thank you. What happened to the great key of C here?
The banjo happened.
We ended with a fiddle tune there called Texas Gales. Well, we're going to sing you a song now called The Death of John Henry. And it's a song I've been singing my whole life, really. When I was about 4 years old, we got a new neighbor that moved in next door, Gary. And Gary had a jug band called the Wilderness Family, and they would often practice in my driveway. And so this was some of the first music I grew up listening to, and their CD was the first CD I had, and it's still probably the album I listen to more than any other. And it had this song on it. So I've been singing it my whole life and performing it since I've been a musician. And it wasn't until this year that I decided I wanted to learn more about John Henry and why this myth exists. I didn't even know if John Henry was a real person or not. And so I read this book called Steel Driving Man and learned so much about the man that did exist, and also the song, and the many songs that have come out of the John Henry story. He was, in fact, a real man, John Henry. He was 5 foot 1 inches tall, and he was from New Jersey originally. And he found himself down in Virginia right after the end of the Civil War. He was involved with, found work with all the work that had to be done, rebuilding things. So he was down there working, and we all know that supposedly he died in this race against the steam drill. But why was he a hammer driller? It's because he was in prison, and so he was on a prison work gang that was sent out to basically bore through the Appalachian Mountains so they could put train tracks through them. And so he was working on a tunnel in western Virginia when he died. But he was sent to prison for theft. We know that he was arrested and charged with a felony, which sentenced him to 10 years. And at the time, with all these prison gangs that were working railroads, a sentence of 10 years was likely to be a death sentence, which it was for John Henry. At the time, in the state of Virginia, a felony, one had to steal more than $25 worth of property to be charged with a felony. And this historian that wrote the book did all this work and found that the property from which he was accused of stealing, if he in fact stole anything, the entire property, the land, the building, everything, was assessed at $50. And so the idea that one person could have stolen $25 worth of anything is kind of preposterous. So we know that if John Henry stole anything, he would have only been guilty of a misdemeanor, if he was guilty of anything at all. So he was wrongfully imprisoned, and the song. So he died as a worker. The conditions, as you can imagine, were terrible. Lots of dust, silica dust, as they're plowing through these rocks. So a lot of men were dying same way that people die from asbestos. Just the lungs couldn't take these particles, and that's the most likely way that he died. Where was I going? Oh, and so the song came about first, shortly after he would have died, as a work song for other men that were on these gangs, and as sort of a cautionary tale. John Henry's hammer won't kill me, won't kill me. So the idea was, we don't want to end up like John Henry did. So don't work so hard. Let's not die here. And so the original songs would have had that tune to them, and then it extended into other work fields. There were factory workers that adopted the John Henry song, and farm workers, and eventually it kind of made its way into in popular culture, and people in Tin Pan Alley got a hold of it, and now there's just hundreds of different versions of the John Henry song. This one is called "The Death of John Henry," and it's kind of a cool song. It starts out, it's kind of told in the point of view of like a John Henry fan that heard of his death and decides to travel across the country by train to attend his funeral, which we know never happened. And then it kind of gets into more of the life of John Henry. The last line is just so beautiful to me. The simplicity of requesting a cool drink of water before I die is just it's just such a beautiful thing to me. This is "The Death of John Henry."
Oh, out in the west I heard of John Henry's death. I couldn't hardly stay in bed. I'm standing in the rain, I caught the eastbound train. I'm going where John Henry's dead. I'm going where John Henry's dead. They took old John Henry to the graveyard, and they looked at him good and long. And the very last thing that they said to the man, a poor boy is dead and gone. Another poor boy is dead and gone. John Henry's wife wore a brand new dress, and it was all trimmed in blue. And the very last thing that she said to the man, honey, I've been good to you. Oh, darling, I've been good to you. Oh, John Henry said to his shaker, won't you shake while I sing, and drag that hammer from my shoulder now. You're bound to hear that hammering. Oh, you're bound to hear this hammering. And John Henry said to his captain, you know I am an innocent man, and before I let a steam drill drive me down, down with a hammer in my hand, I'm going down with a hammer in my hand. John Henry hammered on the mountain till his hammer caught fire. And the very last thing that he said in this old world, just a cool drink of water before I die. Just a cool drink of water before I die. Thank you. Boy, time flies when you're having fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all the songs on this list. I find all my favorite stuff at Goodwill. My favorite books, my favorite records, some of my favorite clothes. It's just something special. Or like the radio. We have our friend Diane Hunt here from KBOO who plays our music on the radio. Very kind. I feel like when you hear music, yeah, give it up for KBOO and Diane Hunt. Yeah. When you hear music on the radio, it hits you differently. It's like kind of like when you stumble across something at a consignment shop. There's no reason that this thing should have crossed your path, and yet it did, and you develop this more special relationship with it. And, oh boy. And recently I found a Jimmy Dale Gilmore album, one of my favorite songwriters, and I hadn't listened to his stuff in a while, and got me all back into Jimmy Dale Gilmore. And this is a song that he wrote called Tonight, I Think I'm Gonna Go Downtown, and it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard written about
depression and mental illness. Some really heavy stuff. I hope you like it.
Tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. Tonight I think I'll have a look around for something that I couldn't see when this world was more real to me. Yeah, tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. My love, she's gone away. My love, what can I say? My love would never see that this world's just not real to me. And tonight, think I'm gonna go downtown. I've told my love 1,000 times that I can't say what's on my mind. My love would never see that this world's just not real to me. And tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. Tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. Tonight I think I'll have a look around for something that I couldn't see when this world was not real to me. And tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. Tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown. Tonight I think I'm gonna go downtown.
Thank you. Well, in another life, I was a geologist. I was an environmental geologist. Yeah, here for geology. Are you a geologist too, Ashley?
Well, I'm not, but I like love Nick Center. I like went to a few of his like
Cool. And as an environmental geologist, our job was to basically clean up after corporations and the messes they leave in the ground. We called ourselves corporate janitors. Really, there was no glory in the work at all. It was filthy, and so I got to see some of the stuff that's residual to our progress as humans. And as a geologist, I was trained to think in terms of deep time, the kind of time scale over which a body like ours, if we're lucky, might become fossilized. Now, fossils in the fossil record, or the rocks in general, are the periods of history of rocks are typically characterized by the fossils that exist, and oftentimes these periods are marked by a sudden disappearance of life in the fossil record. We call these mass extinctions. And indeed, when the geologists of the deep future look back at the time we're at right now, they'll find another mass extinction. For real. And we're in the middle of one. And yes, we are part of the cause of this, but there are also people that are being victimized by this right now. Areas that get flooded, areas that get burned. Particularly areas that get flooded, you have a pretty good chance of becoming a fossil if you get covered in sediment, and that sediment stays there for a million years. Anyway, I didn't mean to give a geology lecture here. So it's for you, Bryce. Bryce and I did geology field camp together a long time ago in Argentina. But anyway, if my house is ever to become buried in sediment, this is what those future geologists might find.
When I am a fossil and a paleontologist brushes the dust from my bones, will they ever find the intentions that I owned? They'll find banjo strings and plastic things and a galvanized aluminum roof, the telephone wire in my washer and dryer, and the mercury in my tooth. They'll find fuel oil leached into the soil and the dogs that are buried here too. But will they ever find my long list of things to do? They'll find the mortar and brick, petroleum slick, all the things that only took a day to ship. They'll find the company fleets with the heated seats still parked on the Vegas Strip. They'll find a valley of steel with a chemical peel and the tar-filled river bends. Will they ever find all the bottom lines and the quarterly dividends? Sophisticated copper running straight to the top of a landfill diamond mine. A europium habit buried deep in the granite and the signature of little boy. Fat man and little boy. Find the cables for charging my electric cars and my photovoltaic cells. They'll find the thousands of ways we come up with today just to save us from ourselves. The agreement to progress, the treaties and promises we signed for our own sake. Will they ever find the footprint I didn't make? Yeah, will they ever find the steps that we don't take? When I am a fossil and a paleontologist brushes the dust from my bones, will they ever find the intentions that I own?
Thanks. I'm from a town in Rodentia called Hemlock, and Hemlock's called Hemlock because there's a lake there called Hemlock Lake. The town originally was called Slabville because the first European settlers to live there cut down all the giant oak trees and milled them and built the town, and so like the slab of wood, that's where Slabville got its name. But eventually, all the Finger Lakes. Have you heard of the Finger Lakes of Rodentia? They all have Native American names except Hemlock. I'm not sure why Hemlock got named Hemlock. I really don't know. But anyway, it's the name of the lake, and now it's the name of the town. And twice in history, recent history, the town of Hemlock decided to revert back to kind of simpler ways, something that I think we're all going to have to think about in the near future or right now, whether we like it or not. I mean, we've reached a point in human history where our economy and our ecology can no longer reckon with each other. The economy built on continuous growth and ecology built on balance and cyclical things can no longer reckon with each other. Our economy, of course, isn't real. It's just something we all believe in, whereas the ecology will march on whether we believe in it or not. So I think the future is gonna be simpler than the present is, and I feel very fortunate to live in a place that has done this a couple times. The first time, as these people were cutting down the oak trees, and they dammed up the north end of the lake so that they could have these mills to power their big sawmills, and they actually ended up raising the lake level considerably. And the settlers at the south end, farmers, found that this was affecting their ability to farm the land. And so they marched to the north end of the lake and they destroyed the dam. And the town at the time actually ended up siding with them. They said, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be messing with the ecosystem. Maybe they didn't use the word ecosystem, but messing with the lake level as much as we are. And so they decided to bring the lake level down. And the millers were still able to run their lumber mills. And then again, about 150 years later, 100 years ago, around 1920, the city of Rochester bought up all the land. So Hemlock at that time was kind of a little tourist spot for people who lived in Rochester. They'd take the train down, and there were steamboats on the lake, and there were inns on the lake. And the city of Rochester bought up all the land, took all the structures down, and they used Hemlock Lake now as one of their sources of water. And so as long as I've been around, it's just been a lake surrounded by trees, some trails you can walk on, you can fish, and it's like going back in time. So I'm sure the people that got forced out thought differently than I do, but I really appreciate growing up near this area, this just beautiful natural area. So there's hope for us. There's hope that we can revert back to simpler ways. I've seen it. And this song was written by a woman, Abby Lovely, who was the librarian of the town of Hemlock around that time, 100 years ago. Sort of the town historian. And she was very old, and she was stepping down from her post as historian. And these were her parting words to the town of Hemlock.
My name is Abby Lovely, oldest of my family. My time is up, my days are few. Let me share my point of view I lived on this lake for all my days, and how it's changed in many ways. Before my time, the water's edge backed all the way to Lover's Ledge. In those days, sawmill men built a dam and cleared the land. They cut the giant oaks of old and raised the town on them, I'm told. But the farmers, they began to cry, said the water got too high. They took their axes, took their hoes, and breached the dam, or the story goes. Before the farmers and the mills, ancient people walked these hills. Had stories that they told each year, how to make a living here. Legends told of creatures gone, mammoth and gargantuan. Cautionary tales of yore, lessons learned upon this shore. Like harvest only what you need, and let this land replenish thee. And let the oaks grow old and tall, for the forest keeps us all. Now take those stories off the shelf. History repeats itself. We left the garden long ago. Plant a seed and watch it grow. My name is Abby Lovely, oldest of my family. And should I die before I wake, I give this land my soul to take. Thank you.
Let's play a kick-ass fiddle tune, Titus.
Right. What do you want to play?
Does anybody here from Portland know about the Foghorn String Band? Yeah. All right. We got this one from them. The last couple songs I sang are brand new songs. I haven't recorded them yet, but I have plans to record them this spring. But I do have a few CDs back there for purchase if you're interested, on Spotify and all that sort of thing. I came out with a couple banjo albums in the last few years, Banjo Meditations, Banjo Jubilations. Even if you're not a banjo fan, you might enjoy Banjo Meditations to put on while you're doing yoga or when you want to take a nap. or when you're, I don't know, putting dishes away. I also have one called March of the Mollusk, which is some slow, mellow, groovy banjo tunes. Anyway, here's the Gray Eagle.
Thank you.
Well, I really only tour around by train. It's kind of the only way I'm interested in getting around the country. I wouldn't want to do this driving. And so when I invited Titus on this trip, I wanted to make sure he kind of understood what it's like to be on a train for 2.5 days. And he said, I'm really good at just sitting and doing nothing. So I knew that Titus was in.
Well, that's what you got from that.
Yeah. But really, our trip was pretty exciting. It was such a sparsely populated train. We were going through Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana. So you can imagine just not too many people riding through that area. And so most of the train was empty. Everybody had 2 seats to themselves. And it really felt like a family by the end. You kind of get to know everybody, and you hang out in the observation car. We played some music. We met another person who sang a bunch of songs with us. And it was a really, really fun time. And made some friends that I think will last a while. So. Here's a brand new song called All I Wanna Be.
I ain't no cool cat, ain't no prodigal son. Got no sash or merit badges to show all I've done. But I'm yours, that's all I wanna be. I contemplate infinity, I experience awe. Take a step outside my door and I drop my jaw. I'm here, that's all I wanna be. It can't be nothing that we could see. I feel the heat and cold, I see the light, and when I feel the darkness, you'll hold me through the night. I'm yours, that's all I wanna be. My father is a prickle bush, my brother is a slug, my mother lives inside a stone, the fossil of a bug. They're here, that's all I wanna be. And I've seen other worlds, and this one's a place to be. I contemplate infinity, I experience awe. Take a step outside my door and I drop my jaw. I'm here, that's all I wanna be.
Every summer, Titus and I go to this wonderful old-time string band festival in West Virginia called Clifftop. And it's really wild. There's, I don't know, 2,000 people, 1,000
I
people?
think more like 4,000.
4,000 people? Okay, 4,000 people descend on this state park in West Virginia, and everyone camps for like over a week, and you just play tunes from morning till the next morning, and then you start again. And what were you going to say?
Not enough sleep,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You don't really sleep much, but it's okay. Nobody cares. I mean, you might try to crawl into your tent at like 4 in the morning, and there's still just like fiddles all around you. It's really wild because it's like a very wooded park, and even though there are people around playing raucous music late into the night, you crawl into your tent, and still the locusts are drown everything out. They're like, we own these woods.
Them and the rattlesnakes.
Yeah, sometimes you see rattlesnakes. We're going to play a couple tunes from that part of the world.
I'm going to Rocky Island, oh honey, oh. See my candy darling, you know I love you so. I wish I had a banjo strung with golden twine. Only tune that I would play is Happy That You're Mine. Going to Rocky Island, oh honey, oh. See my candy darling, you know I love you so. There's peaches in summertime, apples in the fall. I can't have my own true love, I won't have none at all. Going to Rocky Island, oh honey, oh. See my candy darling, you know I love you so. I wish I had a big white horse and corn to feed him more. Only tune that I would play is Happy That You're Gone. Going to Rocky Island, oh honey, oh. See my candy darling, you know I love you so. Go up on the mountain, give my horn a blow. There I spied a pretty little girl, say yonder comes my beau. Going to Rocky Island, oh honey, oh. See my candy darling, you know I love you so.
Man, that's fun. Are we still in the great key of C here?
Yes, we are.
See? How y'all doing? We're having a lot of fun up here.
You can try to tell a tree that it's rooted in rocky soil, like you can try to tell a truck that it uses too much oil. But that tree is gonna grow and that truck is gonna go, and you'll be left with all intentions spoiled. And you can try to tell the wind to blow upon your sail, like you can try to catch a fish by the lip or by the tail. But your boat will stay in place as that fish laughs in your face, and you'll be left with the whales. And you can try to tell a man not to live the way he does, like you can try to tell a hound not to howl just because. But that dog's gonna run away, and there will come a final day. You'll be left just wishing for what was.
Thank you. Thanks. That's called the Serenity Song. It's on a record back there that has a porcupine on the cover. So there's this banjo joke I tell often that I went to the store the other day and I had my banjo in my car. When I got out of my car, I locked my car. I had my banjo in it. And when I came back to the car, my windows were broken, and there were 6 other banjos in my car. And Sarah, my wife, knows this joke because she hears me tell it all the time. And a few months ago, I went to a gig, and it actually happened. I went to the gig with 1 banjo, and I came back with 3. People are just always giving me banjos, and because everybody has a banjo in their attic, they don't even know it. But then they go to clean out their attic, and
Go check.
there's a banjo there, yeah. And so anyway, in this particular instance, this really kind person, his uncle had passed away, and he went over to help clean out the house, and his cousins had thrown 4 banjos in a dumpster. And so he grabbed them all up. He kept the one he wanted, and then he brought all 3 of them to this show. And my bandmate took 1, and I took 2. And I'm out of tune while I'm doing this. What do? I'll fine tune in a minute. And so all these banjos, some of them are playable and not great. When people give me these kind of like cheap but playable banjos, and I might give them to someone who needs a banjo or is curious. But most of them are kind of wonky and weird, and they're kind of hard to play. They're just like old funky banjos that wouldn't sound great on this stage. But quietly alone in a room, they can be pretty cool. And so I have this room, our guest room in our house, where all these old funky banjos live. And these holidays that just passed was the first time that Sarah and I stayed home the whole time. We didn't have to travel anywhere. And so people came to us. We had a lot of company. It's about the time of like the solstice through New Year's. We were just home hosting people. And so my brother's family came, and we gave them our bedroom because they're family, and we went and stayed in our guest room. And so I was reacquainted with some of these old weird banjos, and I picked this one up and I put it in this tuning, and this tune just came out of the banjo without even trying. It's just a new tune that came out of an old banjo. We're going to play that tune together, and then we're going to go into an old Olabelle Reed song. But let me fine tune first.
That was some good fine tuning right there.
Recalibrate in all forms. For you banjo folks out there, I'm going to a cool tuning called F tuning. It's often called Cumberland Gap tuning. You can play this version of Cumberland Gap. Me and my wife and my wife's pap all went together to the Cumberland Gap. Close enough. This tune has no name yet. I just call it, it's written here as the solstice tune, but I think we can come up with something better than that. So if you have any thoughts, please let me know.
Born in the mountain 50 years ago. I've climbed these hills and valleys through all the rain and snow. And I've seen the lightning flash and I've heard the thunder roll. I've endured. How long must one endure? Barefoot in the summer and on into the fall. One too many mouths to feed, they could not close us all. We were sent to church on Sunday, learn the golden rule. I've endured. How long must one endure? I've worked for the rich and I've lived with the poor, and I've seen many a heartache and I'll see many more. And I've lived, loved, and sorrowed, been through success's door. And I've endured. How long must one endure? Born in the mountain 50 years ago. I've climbed these hills and valleys through all the rain and snow. And I've seen the lightning flash and I've heard the thunder roll. And I've endured. How long must one endure? And I've endured. How long can man endure?
Thank you so much. I started talking a little bit earlier about why I love folk music so much. And another thing about folk music and fiddle music is that it's often been the music of poor people. Or just the people, you know. There are the people that run this world, and then there are the people that live in this world, and this kind of music belongs to the people. And honestly, it's like something that we have, that we can have. If you're addicted to money and you're addicted to power, you can't really appreciate a square dance or just sharing tunes and songs with friends. It's always been something that we can celebrate down here, and I want to read a poem that a good friend of ours, Howie Lester, a good friend back home, wrote, called "Fiddling in the Cracks." Fiddling in the Cracks by Howard Lester. I fiddle to fill in the cracks in my life, the cracks between my dreams and my realities, the cracks between me and my ancestors, the cracks between a world in which you learn in isolated communities and a homogeneous one of instant global communication, the cracks between me and the universe, the cracks between my love and my hate, the cracks between my commitment to joy and my need to make a living, between what I know and what I don't know, between my personal dignity and my role in society, and most importantly, the cracks between me and you. And we're going to sing a song now, an old folk song. I believe it's a Scottish song, popularized by the Grateful Dead. And it, I didn't really understand the lyrics in this song for a long time until I was thinking about it when I watched the movie Braveheart. And I realized, like, kind of the setting that this story must have taken place of some imperial force coming into someone else's homeland and messing everything up. And so this is a song by the people, for the people. It's called Peggy-O.
As we rode out to Venerio, as we rode out to Venerio, our captain fell in love with a lady like a dove, and he called her by name, Pretty Peggy-O. He said, would you marry me, Pretty Peggy-O? Said, would you marry me, oh Peggy-O? For if you marry me, all your cities I'll set free, and spare all the people in this valley. Oh, what a guy, huh? She said, I would marry you, sweet William O. She said, I would marry you, oh William O. Oh, I would marry you, but your guineas are too few. I'm afraid of what my mama, she would say, oh. What would your mama think, Pretty Peggy-O? What would your mama think, Pretty Peggy-O? What would your mama think if she could hear my guineas clink and watch me out in front of my soldiers? Oh, he's mad now. If ever I return, Pretty Peggy-O. If ever I return, Pretty Peggy-O. If ever I return, all your cities I will burn and destroy all the people in this valley. Oh. Come stepping down the stairs, pretty Peggy, oh. Come stepping down the stairs, oh Peggy, oh. Come stepping down the stairs, rolling back your yellow hair, and give one last goodbye to your William, oh. For sweet William, he is dead, pretty Peggy, oh. Oh, William, he is dead, pretty Peggy, oh. Oh, William, he is dead, and he died for a maid. And he's buried in the ground in this valley, oh. As we rode out to Fenario, as we rode out to Fenario, our captain fell in love with a lady like a dove, and he called her by name, pretty Peggy, oh.
Thank you so much, folks. What a fun night. Thank you for being here. This is Titus Stevens. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm Benny Blue. Thank you so much. Do we have time for one more? All right. One second before one more. I have a little email sign-up list back there. I'd love to stay in touch with folks. I don't send a lot of annoying emails. I send like one every 6 weeks. So, but more importantly, if I know you live in Portland, I can let you know the next time I'm coming around. I don't do Facebook and all that stuff. So, email's the best way you'll know that I'm coming around. So get on the email list. I got some CDs and business cards. Wanted to end with this one because this is another one I got from Caleb Clotter, a Portland darling. And it's a weird time in America. If you're feeling low, why don't you go out and buy yourself a new pair of shoes? Now if you're going down to New Orleans, baby, won't you take me with you? Now if you're going down to New Orleans, baby, won't you take me with you? Now I can't stand just sitting around wondering what it is that you do. Now it seems the way that you talk to me ain't like the way you used to. Now if things around here don't straighten out, gonna buy myself some new shoes. I'm gonna walk away from your heart. I'm gonna sing my way back home. I do be scootin' shootin' do.
sing us home, Titus. Oh, Louisiana and Baton Rouge, Newton Town are gonna sing the blues to you. Oh, I call you on the telephone just to find out you're not all alone. I'm blue. Gonna walk on down to the Five and Dime and buy some shoes, start to look real fine today. Oh, my head's up high and I'll never cry. Gonna carry on that way. I'm gonna walk away from your heart. I'm gonna sing my way back home. I'm gonna walk away from your heart. I'm gonna sing my way back home. Doobie scootin' shootin' doobie. Sing the blues to you. Oh, I call you on the telephone just to find out you're not all alone. I'm blue. I'm gonna walk on down to the Five and Dime and buy some shoes, start to look real fine today. Oh, my head's up high and I never cry. Gonna carry on that way. I'm gonna walk away from your heart. I'm gonna sing my way back home. I'm gonna walk away from your heart. I'm gonna sing my way back home. A doobie scootin' shootin' doobie. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you to the artichoke. We'll see you again.